Hello and welcome to my first episode of A Gym Mom After Dark. This series on my YouTube channel is just going to be my real, raw, unfiltered thoughts after my son goes to sleep. It's nothing fancy, just me sitting here on my couch sharing whatever happens to be on my mind tonight. My hope is that all these things I'm talking about are very relatable to someone or hopefully a lot of people. So if this is content that you like, definitely stick around. There will be a lot more of it. Excuse the lighting. I know it's not the greatest, but we're working on it. So tonight, something I've just been thinking about a lot recently is how hard it is to move with a toddler. So I recently relocated, and this wasn't even like a big move. I wasn't moving out of the state. I wasn't even really moving out of the city. I literally moved like 3 miles from where I currently was before. I can honestly say that moving with a toddler is probably the hardest thing that I've done so far as a single parent, besides my first bodybuilding competition where I got down to 7.6% body fat and I was like literally on the verge of death. And still trying to pull out every last ounce of energy I had for my son, which was like nothing. And at the time he was under a year old, about to be a year old. So trying to keep up with that age where I was quite literally near death, that was definitely the hardest. But this moving with my son now being 3 months away from being 2, it's up there on the really hard scale. And not even like the move itself was the hard part. It was packing up your entire life while you have a toddler begging for attention constantly. And being a single parent, you don't have anyone helping you do these things. And I actually did have quite a few people offer to help me physically move from one location to the other. And I was just like shocked by how many people actually offered to help, which was very flattering. And I had movers, so I wasn't really taking anybody up on their offer, which looking back now, I wish I would have, because I ended up moving a lot of things by myself because I wasn't finished packing for the movers to actually move the stuff. So the moving itself wasn't the hard part. The hardest part was having to go through every cabinet, go through every drawer, figure out what I wanted to keep. Hold on, there's a plane. I don't know if it's gonna mess up the sound. As I was saying, the process of just going through every section of your place and deciding what's worth keeping, what you want to give away, what you want to throw away, deciding if it's even going to fit in the place that you're like moving, and putting it in the right box. Like every time that I've moved before this is my first time moving with a child. So every time before this, it was just me moving by myself. And I like never organized anything like before the move. Like I would literally put shit like wherever it would fit. Like there was no organization whatsoever. And that just worked for me then. But this time around I was like, no, I really need to like label the boxes, like know where everything is, because it's gonna stress me out even more if I don't. And I made the mistake of only labeling it with what room it was in, rather than all the individual things that were in each box. But even that alone, just having to keep things organized, like that was very hard for me because I just like to do things as quickly as possible. I just want to like get them packed, get them somewhere. And that's just like my natural mentality towards it, is to just like physically do it as fast as possible and not really do it in a logical way. And this time around, I really wanted to do it more logically because I knew it was going to help me once I actually moved in. But I definitely messed that up by not putting very specifically on each box, each thing that was in there. because once I moved in, I still had trouble. Like, I still didn't know like where things were, even though they were labeled. And I even started packing super far in advance. Like, as soon as I put down my deposit for this place that I moved, like, I started packing because I knew it was going to take me a long time. And I literally had like 30 days, like a whole month, and it wasn't enough time. And it's also an issue of like, when it's a month worth of time, like, you can't pack everything. There's still like certain things that you're gonna need. So it's trying to figure out like, what am I gonna need, when is my son gonna need for the next like 30 days that I like can't pack yet. It's just such like a mental load on top of the mental load that you already have as a parent. And also just the lack of time in the day to really focus on packing. Like, I'm normally working and with clients the entire time that my son's at daycare, and it really didn't leave me a lot of time when he wasn't home for me to actually pack. So I'm trying to simultaneously pack and like give him attention, and like, he's at a very difficult age where he does really need a lot of attention and constant attention, and he knows when I'm like distracted and when he's not like, you know, the center of attention. So he got into like this really like clingy phase, and he had a lot of anxiety. Like, he could tell that something was happening. There were like boxes everywhere. Our entire apartment was like a tornado of just stuff like everywhere, and it's very hard to, obviously, like, I'm trying to hold him, like pack stuff, go through stuff. It was just so much work. Like, I don't even know what words to like put behind it to really emphasize like how much work it was to try and like pack up and move when you're on like a deadline. Like, you have to be out like on this day, when you literally have like this toddler and like nobody helping you, for one, pack up, nobody helping you like with your child. It was quite literally like, it felt impossible. Like, there was so many times where I'm like, there's no way this is gonna get done in time. And to be honest, like, it didn't. When I had movers come, I still had so much that wasn't packed. So I just told them like, take what's like in the boxes, and I had to like go back and move the rest by myself. And that's why I was like, oh, I should have like took people up on the offer to like help me move stuff out, because I think I took 5 trips back and forth on my own on the day that I had to be out of my apartment. And I drive a Camaro, so that shit is not equipped at all for moving like anything. Like, the trunk is literally like that big, like microscopic trunk. Barely anything fits in there, but I was like stacking this shit like to the brim. So every one of those 5 trips was like jam packed, and then getting it in the car, and then taking it out of the car at the new place, and taking it up an elevator to the apartment. Like, I was exhausted. Like, I don't even know how many calories that I burned when I was doing this move. And my Aura ring, it like died in the process, and like, I didn't know where the charger was because I had packed it and I didn't know where I put the charger. As I was saying earlier, I didn't label things. But if it would have been charged, like, I can only imagine how many steps and how many calories I burned on the day I had to be out of my apartment, because I did a lot. And it's crazy how you forget how much you actually have. Like, when it's all in its place, like in the apartment, it doesn't seem like you have that much. But when you're like packing it up to move, you're like, oh my God, like, I have so much shit. And this was even me like getting rid of like a lot of things, and I still just have like way too much. Like, I'm still unpacking at the new place, and I'm like, where am I gonna put this shit? Like, the thing about newer constructed buildings is they have like no storage space, like literally none. Like, I love the apartment, but the only storage it has is like the 2 closets in the bedrooms. So I'm like trying to find like any tiny space that I can put things. And that's the next part of the move. After you've done all that work to move out, pack everything up, move out, get everything into the new apartment, then it's like it takes forever for the new place to feel like a home because there's still boxes everywhere. It takes forever to unpack everything. It's like, where do you want to put things? Where are they going to fit? Where am I going to store it? And then you end up putting things somewhere and then you change your mind. Like, oh, this would actually be better here. And it's such a process. Like, I'm a week in and I've actually made like a pretty good dent in it, to be quite honest. Like, I'm pretty impressed with myself with how much I've gotten done in a week. And it's slowly starting to feel organized and like a home. And my son has finally starting to like calm down. Like, he has less anxiety because he was like an absolute nightmare leading up to the move. Like, absolutely horrible. And I think he really sensed like my anxiety too. Like, leading up to this move, I don't think I've ever had this much anxiety and stress in my life. And I'm not even exaggerating. It was on like unhuman levels. Not just because of moving, but it's just like the moving on top of so many other things that I'm dealing with right now. And obviously like children sense that, and I think that really played a role in all of his anxiety. But now that we're like moved in and we're not on a deadline to unpack, when there was a deadline to packing and moving out, I think I'm a little bit less anxious and less stressed. So I think that's also helping him. And I can tell that he likes a new place. He has more space, and he'll eventually have his little bedroom that hasn't been set up yet either. But yeah, it's slowly is coming together, and it makes a huge difference when you have a child who doesn't require being held literally every second that they're in your presence, which is how it was leading up to moving here. Anyways, I think that's about it for my thoughts this evening. Let me know in the comments if you've ever moved with a toddler or a small child. Let me know what your experience was. I just hope that this series can really start relatable conversations, and it's nice to know and hear that people are going through the same things or have gone through the same things. So whether you're a single mom or a single parent or just a parent in general, or someone who's just interested in hearing about very real parenting things, should definitely stick around. Subscribe, share the video for somebody who might benefit from it. And there's definitely going to be a lot more of these. I love doing content like this. Yes, I'm a single mom, but I do want this channel to be open to anyone and everyone who is interested in hearing about the realities of parenting and bodybuilding and going after your goals, even while being a parent or a single parent. I don't want it to be exclusive to just parents or single parents, because I do think that it's very relatable for a lot of people. I also think it will help non-parents to relate and to understand parents more, because it is very hard to understand what we go through as parents or single parents when someone doesn't have a child, and nobody can really fully relate until they have a child. But I hope that this channel just opens that conversation to everyone. Anyways, thanks for watching. I need a refill of my drink, but cheers to my single mom life. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.